Hi guys, this is Kristen Martinez. I'm a trauma expert, and today I want to talk to you about some of the difficulties in being someone who specializes in trauma and working with trauma all day, every day. And one of those issues is that sometimes when we deal with trauma, we also are dealing with our own trauma. What I always tell, I think I've told every clinician I've ever supervised is you'll wait for the day when you will sit across from yourself. And the story that comes out will feel like this person lived your life. And part of our job as a clinician is to be prepared and ready for that moment by being self-aware, by being able to check our own feelings, by also being able to look at ourselves and say, what kinds of questions would have helped me get some of this out? What kind of experiences are unique to this particular trauma incident? And I think traditionally we're taught to completely disconnect from our own history and the countertransference, but I believe, actually I'm convinced, that our own countertransference is what drives us to be better clinicians. So by being aware of our own feelings and our own experiences and how it was dealt with and all of these different things, we can start to ask questions that get our clients to think about different things. Now, when that would become a problem is, let's say the client across from us is talking about their own parent and how they were abusive, etc., etc. And suddenly, as a therapist, we start to feel like they think that we're the abusive parent, or we start to feel like the client is wrong, or we start making judgments about the client based on the information. And one, what that's telling me is that you probably haven't dealt with your own trauma, and two, you're incorrectly dealing with countertransference for sure. So this is what I would suggest. One is, especially as a new clinician, make sure you're in your own therapy to figure out a lot of the trauma you've gone through. As young clinicians, a lot of times due to age or just because it's early on in our careers, we haven't had the opportunity to even identify and recognize a lot of the trauma that we've gone through. And so that's definitely something that I've noticed as a supervisor, is that young clinicians, not young meaning age young, but young as in profession-wise, have not had the opportunity to really delve deep into all of the traumatic experiences that they've had. And so when they're going in with clients, they're caught off guard by a lot of the things that are coming up for them in their own life. I've even had clinicians who decide that being a therapist wasn't for them by the amount of stress that dealing with trauma brought on for them. So that's what I'm talking about today. I want to know what you guys have felt, what you guys experienced, either learning as a clinician or your own experience, or I want to know, have you ever sat across from yourself in the therapy room? I know I have, and I'd love to know if you have too. So drop me a comment about your experience about sitting across from yourself and how you dealt with it. Thanks, guys. This was Kristen Martinez, and good luck.